everybody? Welcome back to Cow Daily after a short bereavement hiatus. What I'm not going to do is talk about Scrappy and his death and all that at the minute. I just don't want to. I'm just going to basically do what I'm doing, and when I'm ready, I will. But I just want to thank everybody for all your kindness and support for a particularly bad time for my family, which has been longed out for most of the year. So cheers. Today we're talking about leopards eating faces. And the most predictable thing that could have possibly happened. And again, I just don't want to be talking about the Labour Party, but here we are once again. And also, if you think attacking me personally is a good idea, people on the internet, wrong move. Anyway, in the now time-honoured tradition, let's hear some music while we have our entry cup of tea where everybody joins. Let us know how you're doing in the comments. Be really nice. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to get to 5 minutes as well when we can start saying the industrial language. Because trust me, this is personal. So anyway, who's about? Duncan's in. Nice to see you, brother. Morning, you wonderful lot, he says. Was Morris. I hope stay strong, mate. Cheers, brother. Appreciate you. Leon's in. Nice to see you, man. Way hey, nice to see you too. David Teasdale, morning. Morning right back at you, brother. Let us know if you're about, chaps. That'll be really cool. Call us about. I thought you weren't able to make it. It's probably because I've longed this out a little bit. It was a bit out of practice and I had to get everything pulled together. So, hey, it's cool that you're about. Lizanne Richards, cool. How you doing? Have you recovered from your Jubilee time away? Hopefully. Nice to see you. Just finished your cuppa. So am I, to be honest. I've completely timed this wrong. Ah, it's lush though. Lemon bomb. Oh, I'm really cack-handed and nearly knocked it all over. Nice to see Michael Dines about. Yeah, right back at you. James, nice to see you. Zoe's about. Nice to see you too, pal. If you could do us a favour and like the stream, share the stream, all that cool stuff before we get started, because on 2 minutes 26, Big Bob Grady's just popped up. Nice to see you from South Wales there, pal. Always a pleasure. And also thanks for your kind support lately as well. Ian Alstars, all the best, Ari, pal. Oh, man. I'm a purveyor of hate-filled poison, apparently. You see my caption there. We're talking about Driscoll today, if it isn't immediately obvious on the whole leopards eating the faces thing. I'm not taking any pleasure from this at all, in spite of what absolute rotter bags want to say, man. Hold on a minute. Yeah, Ronnie Peterson. Hi, do you know my best friend and superstar, Ronnie McNutt, who's known to be open-minded at all times? Hi, pal, a day. Stephen Yateman. Oh, yeah, off to do some cricket training. Don't hate me. See, this is what I like. I slagged cricket not so long ago. People took it in the right spirit. I slagged Bambi, and people call us a hate-filled purveyor of poison or whatever the hell it was. Absolutely mint. Class. Ronnie. Go and rock up here without Ronnie Pickering. You know how it is. So anyway, should we get rid of this music? I think we shall. I reckon I can get through this next bit without the swearing. Bink. See you later, Ravi. Right, if you would like to support our work, go to patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. If you would like to support Truth, the purveyor of truth, then please do support. Also, link in the description to PayPal if you want to make a one-off contribution to our work, which is telling the truth, which people hate, apparently. Before we get into it, there's a clip that it was one of the last, I think the second last show. I think the last one was with Deeply, before Scrappy died, basically. So I need to go back to that clip in about 30 seconds because there is swearing attached to that clip, and we can take it out from there. Ronnie who exactly, James? Ronnie who? So 2 seconds. Have a drink. Enjoy yourselves. Oh man, not the wellest I've been, but whenever I've been. So let's play this. This was from one of our last shows before the hiatus, and we've passed 5 minutes now, so we can play it. Enjoy the thing. A vision of the future. Small. Nobody trusts your name better than someone who's afraid you'll tell people the truth. And you know, there's been a lot of that since we started back up. But good, because at the end of the day, we don't target people for no reason. And it's not even like using fucking targeting's ridiculous. I'm on here every day. Eventually, we're going to be talking about some wild shit, and like names will come up. I just don't understand like why we can't like name the names, but we do it anyway. So fucking bollocks. But yes, I'm expecting a wave of trashing coming my way anytime soon. But fuck yes. And I'll put this on the screen for no reason. No reason whatsoever. And sorry to the audio people, if you want to know what that is, I don't want to explain that meme. But it's just there for no reason. This Leopards eating people's faces party, proud member. It's not like they're going to eat my face. Trust me. Look at me, right? There's something coming down the pipe. And I'm gonna love this. Love this. And do turn up every day, because when it's ready and when it's percolated, we're gonna howl our heads off like jackals watching leopards feast on our enemies. Just wait. When the time is correct and right, the China plan will be revealed. Because as Jez quite rightly points out, they're always eating your face. You want to dance with the leopards? They're going to eat your face. But sometimes the leopards can be controlled. So anyway, fucking honestly, what's wrong with people? So, yeah. Scranning leopards, eating of the face. Canny predictable, wasn't it? You would think. Anyway, I've been barred from standing as North East Mayor by UK Labour. No explanation has been given. I'm proud to have created thousands of jobs, fought child poverty, built affordable homes, and delivered our whatever. And then the people will be sharing all of this. Exclusive Labour MP Neil Coyle had a da-da-da-da-da. I tell you what, like, the energy's really high now, considering... look, let's just cut through the shit. He wants plugging back into the Labour Party matrix. He wants to stand as a Labour mayor. He wants the decision reversed. The vast majority of the outpouring of support for him was, go on, be the independent candidate, stand up for that. He's only going to do that if he's not getting back into Labour, right? And as we'll break down throughout this, because guess what? If you're sending people after to call us hate-filled and all this shit, right? Then only punch as hard as you want to be punched back. We weren't going to do this today. But here we are. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So, and for the audio people, the Leopards eating people's faces party, proud member. It's not like they're going to eat my face. It's a quality logo. Maybe if you do stand when you're not let back into Labour, you should stand for the Leopards eating people's faces party. Because that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Honestly, man, just bear with us here. This solidarity bat signal, right, that goes up by people like this who didn't do shit in terms of solidarity for the millions of people who are living in poverty. And I'm not talking about these mad like schemes that, like, yeah, maybe you did a good idea, but guess what? It's not a job, right? You're elected official. The entire country, and this goes for all of these Labour dickheads, it goes for the trade union people, it goes for everybody on this so-called melt left who will do, I don't know, a march. What happened with Enough is Enough? I remember when that came out, it was like, finally somebody's doing something. What was the outcome of that for heat in radiators and food in bellies that this past winter, which was a brutal one, by these so-called people, leaders. Like, for me, a leader leads. For me, a leader doesn't play politics and whatever when there's all these people in poverty and being dragged into it. They stand up, sometimes at the detriment to their own personal interest, like a job. Don't be bringing this heavy energy about like injustice now, it affects you, because the leopards eat your face. If you're going to be rocking around recently saying you wanted Keir Starmer to be Prime Minister, and then the leopard eats your face, didn't be throwing up the solidarity bat signal. Now, I acknowledge a lot of the people who have come out supporting him haven't got a clue about what he's actually been doing and what he's been about, right? And this isn't necessarily personal to him as a human being, but play stupid games, win stupid fucking prizes, man. Like, what do you... Honestly, right? I'm not the enemy, but I just tell the truth. And here's some. Well, before it is, Northeast Heritage Library, quote tweeted Driscoll, and there's Stalin, and let's say that's next to the Tyne, and the next one, he's not there anymore. Trolled by the local thing. Anyway, recent one, Driscoll, my first duty to the people who elected me as their mayor, the Labour Party members here in our region, chose me to represent them last time. They should have that choice again. It's called #democracy. Aye, because the Labour Party that you want to be plugged back into is all about democracy, Mal. I get yourself plugged back into that. Aye. And then once you've done that, trapdoor up. Sorry, pros, you're on the outs. Here he is again. Union leaders, MPs, and other mayors are making my case and asking for the decision to be reversed. Absolute meltitude, every single one of them. There's a lack of trust in politics because of people like you. Second homes, second jobs, cash for questions, not me, no pound expenses claims, I pay for my own phone. You can get a gift card sim for a tenner, pal. And politics needs to change. And also we'll be popping in a little bit extra later on based on some of the shit you've been trying to claim you are. Politics needs to change. We need a new direction. Power must reside in the Northeast and in every region of Britain, not in Westminster and party HQs. I have a vision of Britain that's run the interest of the people who do the work, and I believe we can get there. Laudable. Oh, look, there's that meme again. Labour Party, Socialist, Tories for no reason. So anyway, this was Driscoll just this morning. Identify as a socialist. Sometimes that puts me on a collision course with the party leadership in London. I had a way, man. You've tried to appease them the entire time. You're the Neville Chamberlain of Northeast politics. Stop with this big energy now. It's such a lie. And one of them at the end will clearly illustrate why it's a lie. So my first duty is to the people who elected me as their mayor. What have you been doing? The Labour members here in our region chose me to represent them last time. They should have that choice again. It's called democracy. It's doubling down again. Union leaders, MPs, and other mayors, I make my case, There's lack of trust, Cash, not me. And it goes on. I gave up my car and used my bike or public transport so I see what everyone else has to deal with. You go on as if you did that, like, without any prompting, Jamie. This from the Evening Chronicle from 2020, 20th of Feb to be exact, a long time ago. Mayor Jamie Driscoll under fire over climate change as high-polluting Land Rover spotted at office. The North of Tyne mayor has been accused by a council leader of not doing anything to combat the climate emergency. This is the man who on day one of getting elected declared a climate emergency and has been back then, as we've seen, that was 2020. Here's a picture of it. Nice, very nice. North of Tyne Mayor Jamie Driscoll's Land Rover parked in a space outside the North of Tyne Combined Authority office at the Cobalt Business Park. Having worked at the Cobalt Business Park as a cycling instructor, training some of the people there, I can absolutely tell you that your public transport connections aren't that bad. So you're good, mate. And apparently you were saying some stuff. So anyway, North of Tyne Mayor Jamie Driscoll says he's ditched this controversial gas-guzzling Land Rover after being urged to lead by example on climate change. The Labour figurehead has come under fire in the past after being spotted driving the high-polluting 4x4 to work, having promised during his 2019 election campaign to use a bike, public transport, electric car for his commute. Honestly, I've got all manner of stuff that I'm just sitting on here. I'm just waiting on what your response is. Wouldn't want the WhatsApps to get public when I would, were. Time to really a neck in, boys. So anyway, the sight of the Land Rover Defender outside the mayor's office last year sparked criticism of his environmental record, with green initiatives and being the cornerstone of his manifesto. This from 20th of February 2020. Climate change, high polluting Land Rover. Anyway, North of Tyne Mayor Jamie Driscoll is coming to fire with record climate change. The Labour figure has faced criticism during his election campaign last year for owning the huge 4x4, but insists that he spent most of the time sitting on the drive and that he cycled or took public transport to work. According to his opposition, that's a lie. He continued to drive it and park it there. But the 2009 model Defender was spotted in the mayor's parking space outside the North of Tyne Combined Authority and ECA offices at the Cobalt Business Park on Tuesday, and is understood to have been regularly used for his commute. He declared a climate emergency on his first day in office and said his main priority is to try and make the North East Transport Network the greenest in the UK. We'll come back to that picture in a bit. I mean, look, top and bottom of it is, Land Rover Defenders are banging. I like them. They're like a cool, like, they're just a really good, solid thing. But the top and bottom of it is, they do pollute the shit out of the planet. And by all means, have one. I'm not disrespecting or anything like that if you want to have one. But don't do one while you declare a climate emergency, then say you've stopped using it, and then get copped using it loads of times. And then a year later, it's still happening and it's still in the frigging paper. And then now all of a sudden you're riding your bike or whatever the hell you're talking about. Interesting times. But it's nice of you that you wanted to slum it with us so you knew how it was for us. Stop lying, man. Like, it's all in the public domain. Like, you know, oh, I'm green this, green that, green the fucking third. You're not, though. So just tending, you know what I mean? Like, you're driving around, like, I think you've sold it now or whatever. But after you got mugged off in the Chronicle, it's always after something, isn't it? The morals kick in afterwards. The big energy kicks in after you've been mugged off by the people who are utterly going to eat your face. Ridiculous, man. Like, and I'm the one that's spreading hate. Like, it's noticeable to me that the people who've like come after us for telling the truth on this haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're talking about. At all. At all. So I've asked them to be specific. Specifically why I'm full of hate. There's no specifics. It's just vibes, because you're so uncomfortable that the latest person you put your faith in is not to be trusted. It's fine, that's life, but stop mugging everybody off by trying to claim people are something that they're not. Because the top and bottom of it is, for me, like, this isn't helping me doing this. Like, I'm losing patrons doing this. That's money to put heat in my radiators and food in the belly. Like, it's not to buy Land Rover fucking Defenders, for example. Can't afford them. Can barely afford the bus. So, but I'm still doing it. Because guess what? That's what you do even if it's at the detriment of you. Because sometimes you have to say hard things if you believe in the truth. And I believe, like, over time, that approach is better than talking absolute fucking shit and lying to people. Because why would you want to lie to people? I mean, that's just wild. Anyway, a bit more for you. Do some more on it, shall we? So anyway, this is, excuse me, something I wrote this morning. Just like to point out that Jamie Driscoll isn't banging the drum to stand for anything other than the Labour Party and to have the decision reversed. He's not banging the drum for anything other than the chance of his job back. Just the other week, he was saying he wants Starmer to be Prime Minister. Look, I understand the truth isn't popular in 2023 and people will rah for any old dafty that can get their hands on in this time of little hope. But it's that Labour Party that Driscoll still wants to stand for. This is the party of that Rishi Sunak stop the boats, racist stuff. Don't claim to be an anti-racist and support these absolute rotterbags. Look, I understand the truth isn't popular in 2023 and people will rah for any old dafty blah. He's not making some brave stand. He's throwing up the solidarity bat signal when it suits him because he benefits. His end game is to stand for the Labour Party again and pretend none of this happened. Labourism is an absolute disease, and people caping it up for Driscoll here are being rinsed. He showed clearly the side he chose by persistently giving public shows of support to absolute wrong'uns in the Labour Party. Now when the Leopards ate his face, he wants people's help, who was content to throw under the bus. bollocks. Enjoy being absolutely mugged and taken the end of, because that is what's happening here. The way people use solidarity in 2023 is a disgrace. The whole performance clearly illustrates how the majority of the left in the UK are an absolute joke. Hate it in the comments. I'm not wrong, though. And do you know what it is? I'm not fucking wrong. At all. There's no lie spoken there. At all. And if you think that's hate, I don't care. I really don't give a shit, right? We've went through one of the worst winters like I can remember in my lifetime, right? And none of these so-called leaders on the left did shit about it. Not a thing. Not a fucking thing. I'm not talking about like getting some leaflets printed for your campaign and any of that. General strikes were needed. It was that serious. And if you don't feel it was that serious, then you're clearly out of touch. Driving around in your fucking Land Rover Defender or whatever the fuck it is this week and not giving two shits whilst talking about solidarity. Solidarity bollocks, man. Like this shit, right? Talking about solidarity after the fact. You want solidarity now? When you've done bog all during the time when the Labour Party was doing now but support the fucking Tories on like keeping the status quo and continues to do it. You just want to be plugged back in to be the status quo while being some kind of professional socialist. And it's now today with Driscoll. It's John McDonnell, Corbyn. He's shown solidarity for Driscoll here. Lovely man, but complete melt. We should have had a new party 2 years ago, and I swear to fucking God, if these mugs start giving it the new party stuff now that they're on the outs, I'll laugh in your face and I will do naught but tear it a bit. If that person's involved in other people. Because it's a waste of time, man. Like, it's a lie. It's an absolute lie from start to friggin' finish. Lying. The amount of people who had their lives ruined by supporting these people between 2015 and 2019. And these people didn't stand up for them at all. But you throw the solidarity bat signal up now. Are you mad? Are you absolutely ridiculous? I do believe you are. And that is not going to happen. I'm sick and tired of being taken for granted by people who throw this up. Oh no, the Leopards have ate my face. Please, like speak up for me now. Or don't watch the fact that I didn't speak up for you or do the right thing when like people are like literally without hope. Like clown world, man. Absolute clowns. And if this means people unfollow and whatever, good, do that. Do it. This has never been a beg. Like, if you can't handle adult conversations surrounding the truth, fuck, and I cannot stress this enough, write off. Or get it, or listen and hate. I don't give a fuck no more, man. Seriously, I don't give a fuck. These people have let us down savagely. And I'm not doing this kumbaya shit that like, honestly, the people who you would expect to be saying stuff, it's all very mild, isn't it? Like, you might get yourself a job if he wins or something. Like, what else? What else is it? Is this just a blag to you? Is this just like positioning yourself for something? The career left are a plague, man. They're a plague. And like, we'll do one on the unions one day as well, because there's plenty to be said. Check this out, man. This was when they signed the devolution deal. My mate sent us these, right? For audio people, it's the Sage and the Tyne Bridge in the background. It's probably from the Baltic, from that viewing platform. There's Gove in the middle. And there's Driscoll, absolutely launched. Like, he might as well be in the car park. My mate sent us this, just laughing, just going, like, does he realise what's to come? You've got, like, local councillors, like, sort of, I mean, look, positioning in these things is always deliberate. It's always deliberate. Here's another one. Mr. Gove signs the deal, flanked by local leaders, including Councillor Tracy Dixon, Councillor blah, blah, blah. And there's Driscoll, like, just hanging out on the end. That wifey next to him might as well just elbow him out of the shot. So anyway, this is from the May Queen, Leech Wafu. The thing about Jamie Driscoll is that he absolutely would not have rocked the boat for Sir Keir Co at all if his cushy job wasn't threatened. But now he will, so it seems like a bit of an open goal. One of the only things I've seen where people are completely across this issue. Hate me now. Anyway, this is Driscoll in his own words, I believe, on Sophie Ridge yesterday. Just see if we're in the stream with that one. Here we are. What do you think of this?
Jamie Driscoll, who is the North of Tyne mayor since 2019, was told of the decision on Friday evening. I should clarify, this is not to be re-elected as the North of Tyne mayor. This is to run for the new position of the North East mayor. Thank you very much for being with us. So how did you find out that you were unable to run for election?
Hi, Sophie. Good morning. I got an email, and the email said, "Thank you for applying. You are unsuccessful to be taken forward as a candidate." So yeah, I've been mayor since 2019, as you said. So the area I cover is expanding. It will bring in other parts. So we'll be covering the wider Northeast. I've delivered thousands of jobs. I've built affordable homes. I've implemented a Green New Deal. We're tackling child poverty across 90 schools in the region and expanding that. So when it comes to what the Labour Party needs to project to win elections, which is economic competence, I've got a fantastic track record. And for members not to be allowed the choice of putting me forward as the Labour representative is frankly shocking. And I've had so much support from right across the political spectrum. So what I want is for Keir and the Labour Party to do nothing more than give members the choice of choosing me as their candidate.
So there you go. He doesn't want to do the right thing. He wants to do the right thing for Jamie Driscoll. Out of his own mouth. Absolutely mad. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, Starmer is living proof that a con man doesn't have to be smart if his victims are stupid enough. Look at that lad is like went round banging on about fucking colonialism and all kinds, like with this like whole talk socialism thing, all manner of stuff. Bing. We did a second interview a couple of years ago, never released. One of the reasons why, like, look, I don't care if people have got Land Rover Defenders and Union Jacks and shit, right? I'm not bothered. You do you, but don't just randomly pop up in our platform and then have the Union Jack behind you, cynically next to a trans flag and cynically next to the Northumberland flag. Because, like, I didn't believe you, mate. You know, like that Union Jack shit, right? When you know, and it's still there after all this more flag shit from Starmer and all this racist wrap around stuff with Starmer, and ye nah what that symbolizes for a lot of people. And yet you are, did you get an email then telling you to do that, or did you do it yourself? I mean, I think the latter's worse, like, but the first one's bad enough. Honestly, man, like, I'm the bad guy. Yeah, I'm the bad guy. That's where I am again, the bad guy. These people, man, for fuck's sake. Right. This is Leon saying, I think this is all anti-leopard propaganda. You're right, I'm being paid by the Popular Leopard Front to do this. Charlton Stephen, nice to see you, pal. Good to see you back, brother. I was just off my walk and saw you are back. Buzzing, mate. I'm really pleased you're out at the Hozzy, and I'm really pleased to see you out getting your walk and just absolutely getting healthy. Stay well, my friend. We need you. Michael's saying, enough's enough, clearly wasn't. Well, yeah. Bob Grady, last winter was terrible for so many. Next winter's looking even worse. It is, and this is why we needed like people to act now, then, yesterday, a year ago. However, man, I'm not convinced by this shit, like, and I just don't understand why people are just like losing the plot like he's like an anyway a good thing. I don't want to be doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, people are like, somebody sent us on his page the other day. What was it again? You just love spreading poison or something. And I'm like, do you actually know who I am and what I do? Like, clearly not. And who the fuck are you? Rachel? Who the fuck are you to talk to me? You can't lace my fucking boots. Neither of these cunts can. So don't fucking be talking to me like I'm the problem. I'm pointing out the problem with the fucking left. But all you come by your fucking dickheads want to just like be like, oh, yeah, well, this is like, he didn't just say that he wanted Starmer to be Prime Minister. Now it affects him because the Leopards are scranning on his face. He wants to pull the Leopards off him. Fuck it. Let the Leopards scran him, man. I'll tell you what needs to happen, right? And I'm a cheeky bastard, and Laura, apologise. I messaged Laura Pidcock the other day, not at her behest at all, and I said, look, there's not a chance that Driscoll is a unity candidate if he was to stand as an independent. He fucking won't unless it benefits him, and he's exhausted Labour Party stuff. If he has any self-respect or has any kind of fucking morals, he'll stand down and let somebody like who's got actual talent and the credentials like Laura Pidcock stand as a unity left candidate for North of England mayor. Now, do I think Laura could win? Possibly, but it's not set in stone. But I think it's about getting left stuff on a platform and being on that, involved in those hustings and putting a real alternative that you can trust out into the wild, because momentum builds up. So that's what I think it is. And Laura apologized there, just for the record. Laura completely aired us. She's seen the message, and I don't fucking blame you, because who am I to ask you to do anything? I'm nobody. But at the same time, as I said, I'm a gobshite. So here we are. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need people who had the bollocks to resign from the Labour NEC and the Labour Party. Now, anybody seen the podcast Laura and I did together will know that we shared like a little bit of sort of wobbly bottom lips about like our family and why we were Labour Party supporters. Mine being my granddad, Laura's being her dad. Laura still managed to have the absolute chops to resign amongst all of that, to be respected. So I've got no time for people going, I've been involved in the Labour Party for years. It's not their party, it's mine. It's not, it's theirs. They've took it over. They've got rid of Corbyn, Diane Abbott, just Lob Driscoll. None of them walked. None of them walked. Really looking forward to John McDonnell. see what he does. I wonder who sends the mean tweet suit for him. So anyway, there's a meme on the screen for no reason whatsoever at all. So anyway, see what else anybody's got to say. Anyway, Jojo, nice to see you, pal. Nice to see you. Pop up morning to you. Charles saying, career Labour politicians are undoubtedly utter bastards. Which party do I stand the most chance of rising up in? Tony Blair springs to mind. Aye. Lizanne sold out to Big Leopard. That's about that. I'll leave the show there today. I mean, there's plenty more I could say. And all I'm going to say is this, right? If you want that Fumar, I'm Harold and motherfucking Kumar. Anyway, if you want to support our work, patreon.com/Cow Daily. That's patreon.com/Cow Daily. Also, link for PayPal in the description. Could do with your help, because speaking the truth, lose your money apparently. But I'd rather end up fucking dead in a ditch than back down to these fucking horrible bastards. We're never, ever, ever going to have what we want if we don't actually diagnose the problem. And part of the problem is the career left. Bin. Later.